and welcome back to the kitchen. Today I have another very special recipe from my grandmother's cookbook. These are Grandma's Snickerdoodles. Now, Snickerdoodles have been one of my favorite cookies since forever, but I never make them because they take planning. And by planning, I mean refrigeration. In the past, I've heard that you need to refrigerate these overnight or for up to 3 days or something like that. But according to Martha Stewart, you need as little as 30 minutes of refrigeration time. Now you're talking. And of course, I'll be using my grandmother's recipe, but I won't be following it exactly. Not because I don't like anything or think I can do it better, but just because of what I have on hand. And I think she'd be okay with that. The recipe calls for 1 cup of shortening. And this is where I'm veering slightly off course because I have a 1/2 cup of shortening and a 1/2 cup of lard. It should be fine. 1½ cups of sugar. Two eggs. I know it's unnecessary, but I like to mix my eggs before I blend my eggs, just to keep things consistent. Blend together the shortening, sugar, and eggs. Well blended. The recipe calls for 2 3/4 cup sifted flour. I don't know if back in those days you had to sift it yourself. This flour comes pre-sifted. Now I'm adding 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar. 1 teaspoon of baking soda from the world's largest bag. 1 teaspoon of salt. The recipe says to sift all the dry ingredients together. There's no way this little sifter is going to accommodate all of these dry ingredients. So I'm just going to use my tried and true method, the whisk. Now I just need to combine my creamy mixture with my dry ingredients, and for that I'm using the stand mixer. To be honest, I could have used my hand mixer for this part as well, but the bowl I wanted to use with my hand mixer has got watermelon in it at the moment, and this bowl was clean, so that's why we switched. That didn't take long. I'm going to wrap this dough in cling film just so it doesn't dry out while I refrigerate. While the dough is refrigerating, I'm going to warm the oven up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Before I put the rest of the ingredients away, I'm going to make some cinnamon sugar. I'll be using that later in the recipe. There really is no recipe for cinnamon sugar. You just use as much sugar as you want and then add cinnamon until it's the right color. The oven has been preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and the dough has been refrigerated for at least 30 minutes. According to Martha Stewart, we are ready. I'm going to take half the dough and put it back in the refrigerator while I work the first half. And lucky for me, I have a perfect cookie scoop to give me the exact size right snickerdoodle ball. The first pan is done. Looks like we have a dozen cookies. I'm going to stick these in the oven and bake them while I prepare the second pan. Each batch of cookies takes 10 minutes to bake at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, so we should have plenty of time to make the next dozen. I still have leftover dough, but not enough for a third batch, so I'm going to improvise. It looks like I'm getting 29 cookies out of this batch, which is even more than a baker's dozen. But we'll just call these samples. They look good and they smell even better. They're not perfectly round, but that's how you tell they're homemade. The cookies are done and the only thing left is to try them. Any volunteers? Oh, I appear to be the only one home. Okay. Acceptable. I hope you enjoyed watching me making my grandmother's recipe for Snickerdoodles. If you'd like to try it for yourself, you'll find the recipe in the description below. And until next time, thanks for stopping by.